All right, it's 1 o'clock. Welcome to the June 19th through 20th, new voice. WebEx has a new voice. Welcome to the June 19th through 20th, 2025 board meeting. My name is Sung Oh, president of the board. As we begin, I would like to welcome Claudia Marcado as our newest appointee to the board. She is running a little late. Of course, she has to make a splash entrance for her first full board meeting, so she is coming very soon. I would also like to congratulate members Tebow, Jaw, and Newell on their reappointments. Congrats. Yay. And so, get that out of the way. Before we convene, I'd like to remind everyone present that the board is a consumer protection agency charged with administering and enforcing pharmacy law. Where protection of the public is inconsistent with other interests sought to be promoted, the protection of the public shall be paramount. As I facilitate this meeting, I will announce when we are accepting public comment. As the agenda details, the board has significant business to complete today, including time-sensitive closed session items. To ensure the board has sufficient time to complete all of its necessary work, I've advised the meeting moderator to allow 3 minutes to each individual providing comments. We'll begin with public comment for individuals attending in person, followed by public comments by individuals participating via WebEx. This approach is necessary to facilitate this meeting. Before we get started, I would like to ask staff moderating the meeting to provide general instructions. Moderator?
This is the moderator, and the public comment periods will be conducted using the hand raise icon. So the hand raise icon should be at the bottom of your WebEx screen if you are on a traditional computer. If you're on a mobile device, the hand raise icon might be behind the three-dot other options. And if you are a call-in user, you may press *3 to raise your hand. As stated, each speaker will have 3 minutes. We'll give you a 10-second warning before your time is up, and we ask that speakers only speak once on each agenda item. At the time that public comment is announced, we will show instructions on the screen as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Moderator Ann. I would also like to remind individuals participating in the meeting via WebEx that consistent with the board's policy and with implementation of the board's new learning management system, pharmacists and pharmacy technicians attending the meeting via WebEx tomorrow may be awarded up to 6 hours of CE. This is the first time we're able to do this, and I will remind everyone tomorrow. And so please review the information on the agenda and follow the instructions provided to ensure you are eligible and you get the credit. You'll be required to register through the board's learning management system, PharmEd. Now, I would like to take a roll call to establish a quorum. I know a couple members are running a little late, but we're going to get started and they will announce when they come. So I know Jesse Crowley is not attending today. Trevor Chandler?
Public member present.
Thank you. Renee Barker is running a little late. Jeff Hughes?
Public member is present.
Thank you, Jeff. KK Jha?
Licensee member present, and I do not have anybody over the age of 18 present in this room. Thank you.
Thank you, KK. And Claudia is running a little late, so she is coming. Jay Newell?
Public member present.
Thank you, Jay. Ricardo Sanchez?
Ricardo Sanchez, public member.
Thank you, Ricardo. Satinder Sandhu?
Licensee member present.
Thank you, Satinder. Maria Serpa?
Licensee member present.
Thank you, Maria. Nicole Tebow?
Licensee member present, and there are no other persons 18 years or older present with me at this time.
Thank you, Nicole. And I am here, a licensee member. Quorum has been established. I truly appreciate everyone's time and commitment to the board and California consumers. We have a very full meeting, and so I ask everyone participating today to be respectful of the work before the board. We encourage participation by members of the public throughout our meetings at appropriate times. The board respectfully requests that when comments are provided, they're done so in a professional manner consistent with how the board conducts its business. And before we move to the next agenda item, I would also like to remind board members participating via WebEx to please remain visible on camera throughout the open portion of today's meeting. If you need to temporarily turn off your camera due to challenges with internet connectivity, please remember to announce the reason for your non-appearance when you turn off your camera. Next is agenda item 2, public comment on items not on the agenda and agenda items for future meeting. We'll now accept public comment for items not on the agenda. You're not required to identify yourself, but may do so. I would like to remind everyone that the board cannot take action on these items except to decide whether to place an item on a future agenda. Accordingly, if your comment pertains to an item on the agenda for this meeting, please make your comment during the public comment period specific to that agendized item. Members, following review of the public comment, I will ask members to comment on what, if any, items should be placed on a future agenda. As a reminder, the agenda item is not intended to be a discussion, rather an opportunity for members of the board and members of the public to request consideration of an item for future placement on an agenda, at which time discussion may occur. We'll begin with public comment for items not on the agenda from individuals participating in the Sacramento location. Come on in, come on up.
Really not a teenager. I think I got it. Okay. Okay, we ready to go? Okay, thank you so much. Julie Threet. I'm here to advocate for the COVID vaccine injured, me being one of them, and I represent my mother who was killed by 4 shots of the Moderna COVID vaccine. This is my 11th time coming before you with the public comment about the dangers of the vaccines that are being administered in your pharmacies. You can follow along with the email that I sent you last night. Once again, I'm here to alert you to the harm you are perpetuating through the administration of vaccines in your California pharmacies, particularly the proven deadly COVID-19 vaccine. Since the first meeting I gave public comment back in November the 1st, 2023, there were 24,781 vaccine adverse event reports that were submitted to the CDC. Today, there are 26,912. So since the meetings that I've come to in November, 2,181 Californians have been injured by a vaccine administered at one of your pharmacies. And there are 16 additional deaths. There were 74 when I came here in 11/1/2023, and there's 90 today. That's 16 additional deaths that you've decided to not take any action on. I'm going to highlight 2 of the children that have been injured by the vaccines administered at your pharmacies in the past 6 months. The first one is a 14-year-old male in California. I've given you the report and the VAERS ID number. This child got a COVID-19 vaccine and a flu shot on 12/26/2024. Patient became cold and clammy before losing consciousness. His arm stiffened, he fell back and was in the vaccination room and was unconscious for approximately 10 seconds. EMS was alerted. He was taken transferred to the hospital. So my question is, what happened to this child once he got to the hospital? Is anybody following up with him? And are you alerting your hospital that RFK Jr. has now said that no child needs to be getting these COVID vaccines? Are dangerous? And maybe you don't give them 2 at the same time, including the flu shot. This last one is particularly disturbing. This is an 8-year-old little boy who on 3/20/2025 in one of your pharmacies went in for their school vaccines. The mother presented the pharmacist with their vaccine card, and the pharmacist said you needed the DTaP Daptomycin shot by Sanofi. That's what the child was given. Unfortunately, that was the wrong dose, and the pharmacist was not able to put that into the system. Why? Because this is a shot that's for 6 months to 6-year-olds. So now the pharmacist calls the mother the next day and has to talk to an interpreter because the mother speaks Spanish and says, we gave your child the wrong shot. We're going to need to call your primary care physician. And this is what the final pharmacist said at the end of this report. The pharmacist informed the patient's mother of the mistake, and the patient's mother was understanding and said, okay. The pharmacist also said the mother that they informed the primary care physician. For error prevention in the future, the pharmacists will thoroughly check CDC guidelines and age recommendations as indicated for the patient's age group. My question is, why didn't they do that in the beginning? There's too much going on now with these vaccines at your pharmacies. There's
10
too many
seconds.
different kinds of vaccines, and people are dropping dead, and you need to do something about it. Thank you.
Thanks for the comments. Okay, go ahead, Claudia.
Sorry, I missed most of your comments, but I'll ask some questions as a follow-up, if that's okay. I'm Claudia Mercado, I'm a new board member. Thank
Nice
you
to
for
meet
being
you.
here.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, new board member. My name is Ronald Owens Jr. I was the Public Information Officer at the California Department of Public Health. And I informed my management what Javier Becerra said regarding the COVID-19 vaccines killing people of color, Black, Latino, Indigenous people at about 2 times the rate of white Americans. I prematurely retired, and since then I have gone to 39 boards of supervisors across California sharing this information with those supervisors. I've provided written notification twice, and now appearing in person, I've got 19 board of supervisors to go. I've appeared before this body. I think this is my 4th time, and I was told to go to the feds, which I have done so, and I'll report that at another in the future. I wanted to take this time and opportunity to pray for those people who have lost loved ones because of the COVID-19 vaccines, and remember those who have died.
Ten seconds.
In memory of more than 700 Californians who've died from the COVID-19 vaccines, and in particular, Judith Reed's mother, Jane
Time.
Williamson. Thank you.
Thanks for the comments. Any other Sacramento comments? Okay, we're ready to go to WebEx. Do we have David or Ann? Sorry, you guys are both.
You've been graced with both of us.
Oh, cool. All right.
Thank you. So we're taking comments, request for comment via the raise hand feature. If anyone logged in by WebEx would like to make a comment that is not already on the agenda, you may look for the hand, which may be behind the 3-dot other options if you're on a mobile device, and any call-in users may press *3 to raise their hand. Each speaker will have 3 minutes with a 10-second warning, and we ask you to speak once per agenda item. Are there any comments? We do have 2 requests for comment. First is Chasney Johnson. Chasney, I'll send you a request to unmute and you'll have 3 minutes.
Good day. My name is Chasney Johnson, Pharmacy Technician 106559. I just want to remind everybody that it would be nice to show the name of the public speaker and to check the video personal appearance of the speaker to make sure everyone can visually present professionalism. Board meetings are a learning tool for pharmacy personnel, and we don't want to take away the true meaning of having a professional gathering. Thank you for the continuing education opportunity and have a great day.
Thank you for the comments.
And our next speaker is Sean. Sean, I'm going to send you a request to unmute your mic and you'll have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, board. This is Sean Kim from California Pharmacists Association. Today, I would like to urge the board to provide guidance in response to mass closures of Rite Aid pharmacies. The numbers are 347 pharmacy stores. These closures are not just the business events, but also the public health disruption. Pharmacies statewide are now absorbing an influx of displaced patients, many of whom rely on to local pharmacy for timely access to chronic medications, vaccines, and clinical care. In particular, access to high-cost, controlled substance, or limited distribution drug has become a serious issue. Some communities now have no local pharmacy able to fill these prescriptions. This gap threatens continuity of the care of the patient and may lead to increased complaints and avoidable inspections for pharmacies doing their best under strained conditions. The HCS has provided guidance on medical providers just this week, and CPHA also has asked their help to consider the increase of the annual prescription volume from 90,000 claims due to the increased dispensing volumes. We respectfully ask the board to issue guidance that supports the pharmacies taking in these patients, including flexibilities around inventory, emergency dispensing, and in recognition of increased dispensing volumes. Thank you again for your leadership and supporting the California's pharmacists and pharmacy technicians during this critical time.
Thank you for the comments, Dr. Kim.
And it looks like there are no further requests for comment. Shall I close the public comment feature?
Yes, please. Thank you, Moderator Ann and David. All right, members, do we have any comments, questions, concerns? Go ahead, Trevor.
Yes. So and team, I saw you put in an addendum regarding the Rite Aid closures and the additional resources that have been put on the website for those that are in need of them. Given the public comment we heard, would it be possible to make, at least for the next meeting, I don't know if it needs to be regular, but given the size of the downsizing, we make an agenda item for the next meeting just to get an update on specifics and action items that we as a board can take to help both the pharmacists and consumers that are impacted?
Absolutely. I know, Nicole, I'll get to you. I just want to address that how hard Anne has been working on this issue. I know she's called me and talked to me at like 11 p.m. and I don't know, it doesn't matter on Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is. It's just she has been just tirelessly working on this issue back in behind the scenes. So we have dedicated significant resources in maintaining and updating, but I think it would be great for us to officially discuss this as well during the public meeting. But Andy, just want to say something about all the efforts that you've been putting it through together, and then also, you know, what we can do.
Yeah, so it will be covered as part of the EO report tomorrow.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Any other members? Oh, yes. Nicole, go ahead.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I was also going to ask about this topic. Glad to hear that we're already on it. The one I wanted to bring up is I think there might be some bills coming through, or we may see them in the future, around extended prescriptions, being able to give like a 12-month supply of certain drugs. We're hearing this a lot in like the gender affirming care space. Other states are doing it. So just given the current challenges we're facing right now, some of our patients are facing, I'm thinking of the ICE raids, I'm thinking of limitations on certain types of care. If we could possibly look at a topic of, would it be okay to allow some of these, or what will we do if one of these are passed? How are we going to handle that situation?
Sounds good. I've always wanted to change the 90-day limitation, so I think that would be great in some committees. We'll have to decide which committee to put it on, but yes, absolutely. Anybody else? Oh, Claudia?
I just wanted to follow.
Claudia, by the way, I had an introduction for you, but
Oh, you did. Thank
sadly
you.
you were not
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Welcome.
Well, I made it. Thank you. So wanted to add, the public comment was brought up that there was an inventory issue given the demand. So wanted to see if we can look into, what are we doing in terms of, looking into available inventory? Do we have that insight? Like in terms of the recalls, the product actually available that matches the dispensing currently, being done in the state of California?
Inventory as in,
Well, it was brought up that there is inventory issues. Maybe I misunderstood, in terms of.
it's probably, I think there may be referring to a wholesaler quota is what might be. And then
Okay.
also the need to increase their inventory. I mean, that's tricky because that's really a wholesaler quota for controlled substances. We've discussed that at enforcement committee. We've had educational meetings
Right.
on that. Inventory for businesses, that is a little challenging because that is really on the business decision on what they want to keep it in stock. And I don't know if
Got
you've
it.
heard,
Understood.
there's some, major articles in the past couple years, like how a certain pharmacies decided to not to stock certain medications because of the theft concern. So that area, I think, is really hard for us to get involved, but we can definitely see where we can kind of provide education and resources and where we are in that topic. So,
Okay.
sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Any other members ready to move on? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Next agenda item 3, recognition and celebration of pharmacists licensed in California for 40 years. The board's recognition of pharmacists licensed in California for over 40 years is posted on our website, and pharmacists are provided with a certificate when they reach the significant milestone. Do we have any pharmacists in the room? The room is very empty today, unfortunately, but thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Anybody in WebEx?
This is the moderator. One moment while I turn the hand raise back on. And do we have any WebEx attendees who have served in the pharmacy profession for over 40 years? If you have, you are welcome to raise your hand. And I do not see any raised hands, but we will send our thanks out to those.
Thank you, moderator, and congratulations again to everyone who has been a licensed pharmacist for 40 years on the board. Truly thank you for your contribution to public health. Next agenda item 4, approval of board meeting minutes. Included in the meeting materials or draft minutes for 2 meetings. We will begin with the April 9th through 10th, 2025 board meeting. I welcome your comments on the draft minutes. I will also entertain a motion to approve the April 9th through 10th, 2025 minutes. Members?
A motion to approve.
Thank you, Ricardo. Motions. Do we have second?
Second.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Any comments? Okay, we're ready for public comment in Sacramento. Seeing none, we're ready for public comment in WebEx.
If anyone would like to make a comment on the minutes or the motion, you may look for the hand raise icon and click that hand to raise your hand. Each speaker will have 3 minutes with a 10-second warning. If you are a call-in user, you may press *3 to raise your hand. Are there any comments on the minutes or the motion? And we do have a raised hand from a call-in user. We'll ask for you to share your name, and then you'll have 3 minutes. I'll send you a request to unmute, and you can press *6 to unmute yourself.
Hi, this is Matt McCarthy. I'm a pharmacist up here in Santa Rosa. And I had meant to make a public comment there in the beginning section, and I was accidentally hitting the #6 instead of or #3 instead of *3. Do you know when it would be most appropriate to make that public
Corinne,
comment?
are we able to do this? Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a public comment under agenda item 2.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you for that, the opportunity. I just want to speak in opposition to the cultural competency CE that's required for licensure and implemented, I believe, because of the Assembly Bill 2194, that was passed into law by Chris Ward of San Diego. And I really want to argue against this on three basic premises. The first one really being that the required training is extremely narrowly focused on a very specific group, and that being the LGBTQ community. And it's quite apparent in its construction, I believe, and its implementation that this is the case. And many who drafted the bill were publicly of this identification, and even the representative that put it forward identifies as gay. So this is not a cultural competency, and I think that's a misnomer. It's rather a very narrow, focused, self-serving agenda that does not encompass the diversity of the California pharmacy population. And I think you can see that in what one of the comments was made by those drafting the bill when he said that the goal of this legislation is to foster an environment that affirms the identities and experiences of LGBTQ+ peoples. So calling this a cultural competency is a deception and really a manipulation of the cultural inclusion concept for the gain of a group of individuals for their own self-interest and agenda. So where is the inclusiveness of this, of the people of varying opinions? So what has the state done and the board approved? You've tied an ideology and a political agenda to a professional license that people have worked extremely hard for. There should be no historical education, dissection, or promotion of any single group based on race, religion, or sex for professional pharmacy licensure. The title's deceptive, but this is beyond a basic ethics course or a general non-discrimination respect training. The second point is that it's unconstitutional. This bill was conceived, developed, and implemented around the idea of affirmation. The word is used by all of its proponents over and over again. But you look up the word and what does it mean? It means to state something is true or to support it, to approve something. But there are many who do not support and approve of these lifestyles, and sincerely so.
10 seconds.
Many are based on deeply held religious beliefs. And so I believe it's unconstitutional. And finally, there's no exceptions to this rule. There are no alternative CEs to take outside of what it's set for.
Thank you for the comments. Okay, members, with that comment, just quickly going back to you all to see if you have any comments, questions, suggestions. I don't see anyone. All right, we're moving forward back to the public comment for agenda item 3, minutes for the April meeting minutes. Any other public comment on WebEx?
If anyone would like to make a comment on the minutes, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. Are there any comments on the minutes? I do not see any requests for comment. Shall I close that feature?
Yes, please. Thank you, moderator Ann. And just for the purposes of minutes, another minutes while we are approving minutes, Renee has joined. She's arrived. If you would like to announce your arrival.
Renee Barker, present. Sorry for the delay.
That's all right. Thank you, Renee. All right, we're ready for vote. Trevor, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you, Renee.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
Thank you, KK.
Yes.
Thank you, Claudia.
Yes.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Yes.
Thank you, Satinder.
I abstain. I didn't attend the meeting, so.
Okay. Thank you, Satinder. Maria.
Yes.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yes.
Thank you. And I vote yes. I know a couple members are remote, but I'm excited that today we're all here. Exciting day. Thank you. And moving to the next minutes for our review is the draft minutes from the May 21st, 2025 Disciplinary Petition Committee meeting. I welcome your comments on the draft minutes, and I will also entertain a motion to approve the May 21st, 2025 minutes. We have, thank you. Thank you, Trevor. Motions. Do we have second? Second. Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate it. Any comment, members?
I'm sorry,
right.
this is Nicole. I don't know if KK is having the same problem, but I'm not hearing a lot of people in the room.
Oh, okay. The microphone is on.
So far, I haven't had any problem.
Okay, maybe
Okay.
it's just my sound. Sorry. I have a new laptop, so it might just be me.
Probably just didn't hear because our microphones weren't turned on.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's make sure the microphone is all on. So hopefully we'll If this happening, just stop us and let us know, Nicole, because I
Okay,
want to make
thank
sure
you.
that everything what we are saying is audible. Right, but other than that, no comment, right? Okay, we are ready for public comment in Sacramento. Seeing none, ready for public comment in WebEx.
This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the disciplinary petition committee meeting minutes, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you're on a mobile device, the hand icon might be behind the 3-dot other options, and our call-in users may press *3 to raise their hand. Each speaker will have 3 minutes, and we will give you a 10-second warning when your time is almost up. Are there any comments on the minutes or the motion? I do not see any requests for comment. Shall I close that public comment feature?
Thank you. Yes, please. Ready for vote, members. Trevor, how do you vote? Yes. Thank you, Trevor. Renee?
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
Thank you, KK.
Yes.
Thank you, Claudia.
Yes.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Yes.
Thank you, Satinder.
Yes.
Thank you, Maria.
Yes.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yes.
Thank you, and I vote yes. Motion passes. Next agenda item is agenda item 5, report by the California Department of Consumer Affairs. I would like to welcome, actually, I'm not sure, I don't have your name. So you're gonna have to introduce to us from the Board and Bureau Relations, from the Department of Consumer Affairs to provide an update from the DCA. Go ahead.
Is it on? It is on. The light's not on. Good morning, I'm Shelley Jones. I am here representing Department of Consumer Affairs Board and Bureau Relations. I want to thank you for the opportunity to join
Oh,
you.
Shelley, you used to be a moderator.
I did.
Ah,
And before that, I was BBR. I've been all over the place.
Finally, thanks to the voice we've heard
It's been a
for
long
like 2
time. It's been a
years.
long
Yes.
time. So just a few items we wanted to share information with you on today. The first is the governor's reorganization plan. As shared in previous meetings with you, Governor Newsom did release his proposed 2025-26 state budget in January, which included a proposal to split DCA's oversight agency, known as the Business Consumer Services and Housing Agency, into 2 state agencies. They would be known as the California Housing and Homelessness Agency and the Business and Consumer Services Agency. The proposed California Housing and Homelessness Agency, it always trips me up with our lovely acronyms we love, CHHA. They will oversee housing and homelessness solutions and safeguard civil rights. The new Business and Consumer Services Agency will be responsible for consumer affairs, licensing, and enforcement. The Department of Consumer Affairs will be among the 8 departments in this new agency. We believe this is an extraordinary opportunity for DCA to better align with other consumer protection departments. A secretary within the governor's cabinet focused solely on consumer protection will only strengthen our mission, momentum, and delivery of services to California. As part of the process in state government, on April 4th, the governor's reorganization plan was delivered to the nonpartisan Little Hoover Commission for their review. The submission of the plan to the commission began an approximate 90-day formal review process. The commission held public hearings on April 23rd and 24th to receive testimony and for interested parties to provide input on the proposed reorganization. Our agency's secretary and DCA Director Kirchmeier, as well as other impacted department leaders, testified in support of the governor's plan and responded to questions from the commissioners. Earlier this month, the Little Hoover Commission released its full report recommending the legislature allow the governor's reorganization plan to take effect. The legislature now has until July 4th to consider the proposal, and unless rejected by the legislature, the plan will go into effect on July 5th. And as it's currently written, it will officially become operative on July 1st of 2026. So DCA will continue to keep Board and Bureau leadership apprised of the ongoing efforts with that. Second item today is the hybrid telework transition. Also previously reported, Governor Newsom's March 3rd, 2025 executive order requires all state agencies and departments to update their hybrid telework policies for employees and increase from 2 to 4 days in office per week beginning on July 1st, 2025. The California Department of Human Resources provided guidance on March 13th, which defined parameters for when agencies and departments can make case-by-case exceptions to the 4-day in-office minimum requirement. DCA has been working closely with a few programs on identifying additional space needed for this transition. DCA has also been hosting bi-weekly meetings with Board and Bureau leadership to provide updates and respond to questions. We recognize that this transition will likely require adjustments for many employees, and we are working together to minimize the impacts. We will, of course, continue to keep leadership updated on any additional directions we receive from CalHR. Travel updates. On June 9th, the Department of Finance issued guidance for out-of-state travel in the upcoming fiscal year. Travel outside of California will be limited to essential travel that is required to conduct state business, meaning requests should only be made for mission-critical needs. DCA distributed a memo to all boards and bureaus on June 16th detailing the criteria for mission-critical travel, including but not limited to enforcement actions, revenue collection, statutory requirements, auditing, and litigation. Additionally, all requests must be provided to DCA's budget office 8 weeks in advance to allow for review by DCA, agency, and the governor's office. If there are any questions, please contact your assigned budget analyst at DCA. We would also like to remind board members and staff of our collective responsibility to always work to minimize the cost to the state through responsible travel planning and scheduling. To best serve the public, it is incumbent upon all of us to ensure that we are being fiscally prudent in our decisions, especially when traveling for board business. DCA is reminding members and staff to evaluate if a rental car is always necessary versus ride-sharing services. Carpooling is also highly encouraged when renting vehicles. We know that there may be new travel costs board members are experiencing as well, such as baggage charges. So please keep receipts to ensure that you can be reimbursed. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Board and Bureau Relations at their email memberrelations@dca.ca.gov so we may assist you. And last item, we have a new compliance and equity officer at DCA. On April 28th, Levi Hull began serving in this capacity. In this position, he's responsible for leading and coordinating department-wide quality improvement efforts to ensure consistency and regulatory compliance. This position oversees DCA's solid planning and training services, the Organizational Improvement Office, the Equal Employment Opportunity Office, and the Internal Audit Office, and serves as the liaison to the department's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Steering Committee. As the department's equity officer, this position is dedicated to enhancing the diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility policies, trainings, and activities throughout the department's programs. Levi brings more than 12 years of experience in leading multidisciplinary teams and driving strategic program development, with more than 9 years of experience in EEO compliance and program management, including nearly 3 years at DCA. He is an experienced leader with a deep commitment to fostering inclusive, equitable, and accessible work environments. I want to thank you for your time and letting me share this information. I also want to take a moment to congratulate Member Mercado on her appointment to the board, and also to Members Jaw online, Member Newell, and Member Thibault online for their reappointments to the board. And we want to thank you for your willingness to continue serving California's consumers. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Thanks, Shelley. Members, do we have any questions for Shelley? Seeing none, we're ready for public comment, Shelley, if that's okay. Sorry.
Absolutely, it's all
Do
right.
not have not many people in Sacramento, but anyone in Sacramento? Seeing none, we're ready for public comment in WebEx.
This is the moderator. If there is anyone who would like to make a comment on the DCA update, you can look for the hand icon, typically at the bottom of the WebEx screen or behind the 3-dot other options if you're on a mobile device. And our call-in users can press *3 to raise their hands. Are there any comments on the DCA update? I do not see any requests for comment. Shall I close that public comment feature?
Yes, please. Thank you, Shelley. Appreciate you
Thank you.
coming.
Good seeing you.
All right. Next is agenda item 6, discussion and consideration on the board's strategic plan. As you may recall, the board's strategic planning session occurred as part of the board's September 2021 meeting. Following adoption of the new plan on an annual basis, the board reviews its strategic plan to confirm the established strategic objectives for each committee remain appropriate or if changes should be considered. This annual review also serves as an opportunity for the board to evaluate progress in the respective areas. I'll ask the chairs from the respective committees to provide the board with an update on its discussion. I note that from the meeting materials, no committees are recommending changes to their respective objectives. Not surprising, considering we're at the tail end of our strategic plan. So I look forward to doing this again next year. But as the chair of the licensing committee, I'm pleased to report the status of the various objectives established by our committee. During our meeting, we did not have an opportunity to review, but you'll note that the committee has made steady progress on our strategic objectives. As reflected in the meeting materials, the committee continues activities in support of a number of strategic objectives. I believe the objectives remain appropriate. All right, we're going to open up for any committee members who would like to say something, if anybody has any comments. If not, do we have any other member comments on the licensing committee's strategic plan? Don't see anything. So we're ready to move on to Maria. Maria, chairperson of the Enforcement and Compounding Committee. Chair Serpa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President O. On behalf of the Enforcement and Compounding Committee, I'm pleased to provide the board with an overview of the strategic objectives for the Enforcement and Compounding Committee. As indicated in the meeting materials, the committee has 11 strategic objectives. I'm really proud of what the committee has accomplished towards its strategic objectives, and I'm looking forward to our continued efforts. I'd like to acknowledge the progress that staff have made to meet Strategic Objective 2.3. Inspectors have done a fantastic job. That's bold, underlined, italics, as many things as you can say, have done fantastic work in accomplishing the board's 4-year goal. It's my understanding that the board assigned approximately 1,550 routine inspections earlier this month toward our continued pursuit of this strategic objective. I would also like to acknowledge progress made towards the strategic goal 2.4. Proposed amendments to BPC sections 4081 and 4105 are included in the board's sunset measure, which is AB 1503. In addition, the board implemented a new digital process to streamline the investigative process and reduce investigation timeframes. The board has been working on strategic goal 2.5 for several years. We are proud to report that provisions to transition pharmacist practice to a more robust standard of care practice model are included in the board's sunset measure. For strategic goal 2.8, the board implemented a new learning management system for licensees to complete board-provided continuing education, including the newly required PIC training course. Our work related to strategic objective 2.10 resulted in 5 formal comment periods, a regulatory hearing, an extensive review and discussion over the course of multiple public meetings. As you recall, the board approved final regulatory text in March 2025 and thereafter submitted the final rulemaking file to OAL. I'm very proud of the work we accomplished as a committee and truly appreciate all of the engagement that we received from all interested parties. Lastly, you will note that we added strategic objective 2.11 regarding evaluating barriers to consultation in November of 2024. This area continues to be a challenge. The committee plans to discuss this issue at a future meeting. President O, I thank you for the opportunity and I turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you, Chair Serpa. Next, Nicole will be also providing the strategic objectives from the, she's going to start, I believe, with the communication. Oh, are we doing legislature? Okay, sorry. Nicole will be providing strategic objectives from the Legislation and Regulation Committee.
Thanks, President O. As indicated in the meeting materials, the Legislation and Regulation Committee has 6 strategic objectives. The meeting materials include updates to the respective objectives over the past year. These updates highlight the work of the board in our policymaking efforts to protect California consumers. The committee believes the objectives remain appropriate and do not believe any changes are needed. Unless there are questions, I'll turn it back over to you, President O, or I can continue and do the next one as well.
Go ahead.
Okay. Next up is the Communication and Public Education Committee. As indicated in the meeting materials, the Communication and Public Education Committee includes 8 strategic objectives that guide policies and actions implemented by the committee. As a committee, we discussed the activities undertaken by the committee and board to fulfill the established strategic objectives. We have also identified areas where additional actions are required. As an example, the committee will be evaluating additional opportunities to engage with consumers more directly, as well as evaluating opportunities to recognize pharmacists. As a committee, we believe the established strategic objectives remain appropriate. We look forward to the coming year and opportunities to take additional actions to fulfill the established strategic objectives. Back to you, President O.
Thank you, Chair Tebow. Okay, the last report is strategic objectives that fall under the purview of the Organizational Development Committee. This committee is comprised of the board president and vice president who meet with the executive officer to discuss items under the purview of that committee. The meeting materials detail out various strategic objectives and statute updates are provided. As noted in the meeting materials, several activities have been undertaken in support of the committee's strategic objectives. I would like to highlight some of the training completed by board staff under Objective 5.3, also Strategic Objective 5.4 related to business modernization activities. Crossing my fingers there. I would also like to thank staff for their work to update information on the board's website as noted in activities related to Strategic Objective 5.6. Okay, members, do we have any questions or comments on the strategic objectives for the Organizational Development Committee or any other strategic objectives from other committees? Seeing none, we are ready for public comment in Sacramento. Seeing none, we're ready for public comment in WebEx.
This is the moderator, and we are open for public comment. If you would like to make a comment on the strategic objectives of any of the committees, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you are a call-in user, you may press *3 to raise your hand. We ask people to speak only once per agenda item, and we will give each person 3 minutes with a 10-second warning. Are there any comments on any of the objectives or the reports? I do not see any requests for comment. Shall I close that public comment feature?
Yes, please. Before we go, any other lasting comments from members? Okay, we're ready to move on. Agenda item 7, discussion and possible action regarding executive officer exempt level change and salary increase. As included in my memo to members, I have been conferring with the department on the process to request a change in the exempt level and salary of the executive officer position. This is always a bit of an awkward issue to discuss because someone's sitting right here, but I believe it is very important. Unlike the process used for other civil service positions, the salary of the executive officer position is determined by the board and approved by the California Department of Human Resources, known as CalHR. My memo details out the overall justification for a change. You'll note that at the end of my memo, I'm recommending action to move the level designation for the EO position from its current level E, as an echo, to a level none. With this change, the board will have greater flexibility to establish its own salary band that is commensurate with the unique and expansive regulatory jurisdiction of the board. As included in my recommendation, I'm further recommending a 10% increase in the salary band, as well as recommending that the current executive officer receive a salary amount equal to the current monthly salary plus up to 10%. This is all very legal, so I just want to make sure that I'm sure members will have questions. So I'm requesting that the board delegate to the board president the authority to work with the DCA and CalHR consistent with the parameters established in my recommendation. And just so that I don't have to go through more legal mumbo jumbo. Where's Olivia? Hopefully she's here. Olivia is here. She's chief of, is she here? Oh, sorry, Olivia. Sorry to put you on the spot. Come on up. She's chief of DCA's Office of Human Resource, is present today to answer any questions. With that, members, I'm sure you all have thoughts, comments, need a motion, but thoughts and comments.
President, I'll
O.
make a sorry.
Oh,
Going to make the motion to go with your
Oh, perfect.
recommendation.
So he has to read
And-
the whole thing.
thank you, Ricardo.
Does Ricardo need
Should
to
I-
read the motion?
Yeah, I can.
On the screen.
So, Ricardo, is your
That-
motion delegate to the board president to submit requests to the Department of California Consumer Affairs and CalHR to change exempt level of the board's executive officer position to none, specify a salary range for the EO position with a monthly minimum equal to the EO's current monthly salary and a monthly maximum equal to the current monthly salary plus up to 10%, and increase the monthly salary of the current executive officer to an amount equal to the current monthly salary plus up to 10%.
Yes, right off the
Thank you.
screen.
Thank you, Ricardo. Maria, you had a comment.
I would strongly second Ricardo's motion and speak in strong support of the motion. For the many years we have done the executive officer's evaluation, we've always struggled with the lack of really parity with similar positions, not necessarily in DCA, but similar positions. And we've been pleased to have such a strong performer in our EO position. And every year, have not been able to adequately support a salary increase for her. So I speak in strong support.
Thank you.
I have a
And-
question.
Go ahead.
Is 10% too low, or is there room for more if we wanted to increase that?
Oh, I wish it could be 100%, but
There is room for more. It'll be up to the board to make that recommendation. But typically, as President O mentioned, CalHR is the final approver. And we don't want to be unreasonable with the requests. So right now, other boards have been submitting like 5%, 10% being the most. Sometimes you just don't want to ask for too much and then get the request denied altogether. So it is up to the board to make that determination or recommendation. But oftentimes we don't see those go through anything higher than 10%.
Understood. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
go ahead, Trevor.
How unique will the Board of Pharmacy be in this regard of taking this action? Have other boards taken a similar action? Will we be unique? What's the nature of that?
So it depends. CalHR most typically will reduce the request.
Mhm.
If there is a COLA that's going to go into effect, such as July 1st of 2025 or whatnot, they will factor that percentage in and may reduce, for example, if you voted for 5% right now, they may reduce that by half and just give an overall 5%, including that COLA, to equal that amount. So lately, they have been approving 5% requests, but it can change. They definitely want to see the growth in the board since the last increase, budget, licensed population, number of complaints. So if the justification outlines all of that, it should be successful.
But in regards to like changing the band completely, what was that? To none. Is that something that other boards have done? They have. Okay, so
Yes.
we're not breaking any new ground on this or anything like
No,
that.
correct. No, a lot of boards are seeking that none level to allow more flexibility with the salary band.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great questions. Go ahead, Satinder.
I was
This
going to
is-
ask that if you can,
I'll go to
the
you
and
next.
versus none, that explanation, I wasn't familiar how that works, so that'd be good.
Of course. So each classification designated as an executive officer or exempt here at DCA typically has a letter associated, and that letter has a salary band. Oftentimes, a request may not fit within that salary band. And so the other option is to remove that letter designation and request to have it as a none. And then you have room to move the salary as needed with the growth of any budgetary positions and so forth that the board has seen throughout the years.
Thank you very much. I strongly support.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, members. Any other questions?
Just comment. I'd
Go
like
ahead,
to just say,
Ricardo. Oh, sorry, Nicole. I'll go to you after Ricardo. Go ahead.
Yeah, just wanted to say I've known Ann for about, 10 years now.
Oh, longer,
Or
longer.
that.
Yeah.
Served 8 years here, then took 2 years off. But she, I was fortunate enough to give a presentation in Burbank last Thursday, and she did such a fabulous job. She was very well received. She's clear, she's concise, she's always helped out the board, always has the answers, always does her research, and makes us all look really good up here. So I think she earned it. She's a very valuable asset to the pharmaceutical board. Just want to point that out.
She is a model citizen, a model, perfect model California employees. We all should aspire. I mean, stop it. Don't laugh, Ann. Really, she is just the best that California has to offer. And we cannot thank enough of her amazing dedication and all she does. So I'm just so happy. And Nicole, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I can't raise my hand anymore, so I don't mean to butt in. I couldn't see you all. I just want to say very strongly in support. My only thing was when I was reading the justification, I felt like it was missing pieces about how what's the right word here? How available Ann is and accommodating. My schedule can be awful, and Ann will routinely meet with me at like 7 o'clock at night because that's when I'm available. And she really goes out of her way, and she never makes you feel like you're a burden. Maybe she should take a little more time for herself, but for the most part, she's just very, very accommodating and always available. So I didn't feel like the justification included that, but I think that's really important, and it seems like a very unique feature.
Thank you, Nicole. And then KK?
Sorry, I lost the ability to raise the hand here, but I agree with all the comments there so far. I mean, I don't have nothing new to add. Only thing I can say is my personal experience, and that's she never misses any detail. I don't know how she does that, but I'm always amazed with that. And I have let her know as well that these are non-urgent things that I call you or text you or email you. You don't have to be on it all the time. So I don't know how she does it, but I would support any number that has the greatest probability of getting approved. If there is a 10%, then it's so be it. If it's 15, then so be that. And I don't want any number that has higher probability of rejection. So whatever is acceptable limit that will get approved without issues or delay, then that's the number I would support. Thanks.
Thank you, KK. And just a confession, I have been working with Olivia, as you all have expected, that, we're trying to figure out what the best path of this was for months. I mean, I've been wanting to do this for like probably 3-4 years, but so Olivia's suggestion is 10%, but the board probably opinion is that higher. But in your opinion, strategically, should we keep it at 10%? Because, I mean, we have flexibilities here, right? So
Correct. I'll leave that up to the board to make that final determination. But the recent trend that I've seen of packages going through has been 5%. So,
with cola.
yeah.
Okay. Not drinking cola, but cost of living.
Right.
Okay.
So,
All right. So members, are we just sticking with our motion for now? Okay. That seems to be in agreement. So
quick clarification on the motion. We're requesting the level increase to none. And then
exactly written on yeah.
And then the flexibility of requesting a percentage between up to 10%, that'll be delegated to you.
Yeah, Corinne, that's right. How you wrote it. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
We had our counsel wrote that. So
great,
I'm sure
thank you.
legally hopefully that works. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And just to add to Nicole's comments, Nicole, that's a great point. But this justification is not a final version. That's that's why we did the delegation. So we can make it even more, like way more than this packet. This was just for you guys and kind of a starting point.
Overview, correct.
Yeah.
President O, I was wondering if, just like Nicole suggested, her stature at national level, the way the other executives and they look at it, I've seen her first action, the respect she has nationally in terms of EOs, I think that should be also included.
Absolutely. We will definitely absolutely include that. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Okay. We still have to, I think, open up for public comment on this. So we are going to public comment in Sacramento, and I'm sure we don't have anyone. So we're ready for public comment in WebEx.
Thank you. This is the moderator. And if anyone would like to make a comment on the motion, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you're on a mobile device, it might be behind the three dot other options. And if you are if you're a call-in user, you may press *3 to raise your hand. Each speaker will have 3 minutes with a 10-second warning, and we ask people to speak only once per agenda item. We do have a request to comment. Our first request is from Stephen Gray. Stephen, I'm going to send you a request to unmute, and you'll have 3 minutes. And Stephen, it should be a pop-up on your screen that offers unmute me. All right, so Stephen, seeing that you are having, did you manage to unmute? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. I also want to express strong support for this move, both from a strategic point of view and from a personal point of view. I have not read the official justification, but I think it should be pointed out publicly that among agencies or boards that license health professionals, the Board of Pharmacy is unique. The breadth and scope of the expertise that the EO needs because of all the facilities and processes and other things that the Board of Pharmacy is responsible for, both in-state, out-of-state, just far expands the breadth of knowledge and expertise that an executive officer of a board like the medical board or the dental board, because they don't license facilities, they don't license other non-healthcare professionals, such as the Board of Pharmacy has to license brokers. If you're a wholesaler and just a broker, you have to license that function. So I think that that should be made part of the justification if it hasn't already been made, but it also should be pointed out in public forums. Obviously, the executive officer of the Board of Nursing has many more licensees, perhaps the same as for the medical board, I don't know. But that should not be the major criteria, because the pharmacy board and therefore the executive officer has to have a much broader and deeper expertise in everything the Board of Pharmacy is responsible for. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gray.
And this is the moderator. I do not see any further requests for comment. Shall I close that public comment feature?
Yes, please. Thank you. And thank you.
And-
I'm glad that went in the public meeting and that hopefully goes in the record. And so that hopefully will help us. And so with that, we're ready for vote. Any lasting comments before we vote? We're just ready to go. Okay, Trevor?
Yes.
Thank you. Renee?
Yes.
Thank you, Renee. Jeff?
Yes.
Thank you, KK.
Yes.
Thank you, Claudia.
Yes.
Thank you, Jay.
Definitely yes.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Yes.
Thank you, Satinder.
Yes.
Thank you, Maria.
Yes.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yes.
And I vote no, just kidding. Yes. And so we are now on break time. So we're going to go to closed session. I would like to thank members of the public for your participation today. As indicated on the agenda, the board will now convene in closed session to discuss the items set forth on the agenda. Adjournment will immediately follow closed session, and there will be no other items of business discussed today. Please note adjournment may not be viewable on the webcast. Members of the public, thank you for joining the meeting, and we'll start closed session in about 15 minutes, so we get some little stretch break. So we'll come back at 2:15. Nicole, KK, 2:15. That's okay. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.